Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It's Tuesday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone of the USA. It's time for Tuesdays with Tim and Jeff. I'm Tim K3LR, and we've given Jeff the day off. He gets to start his Christmas early. And today we have a lot of guests, and they are all great folks that really give back to this hobby in a major way. Please welcome Michael and John from the Orlando Hamcation. We also have from Hamvention, Dara. We have Rick, W8CI, and Michael, W8CI. And from Huntsville, we have the chairman of the Huntsville HamFest. It's Mark, N4BCD. So we are very excited. We got a lot to go through. If you have a question for any of these guys about their conventions, their Hamfests, now is the time to think about that and put them in the chat room, and I will bring the questions to them. This is a different year. 2020 was different. 2021 is even more different. But these are three of the premier Hamfest, Hamvention events here in the United States. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to start out with Hamcation. And Michael and John, tell us what's going on with Hamcation here in 2021.
Hamcation in 2021 is going to be a little different this year, of course, because of COVID. We've had to postpone the in-person Hamcation that happens in February. So this year we're actually going to do a little bit of a virtual Hamcation, a little different. We're going to actually be having some webinars. We've split it up into 4 categories: contesting, youth, vendors, and technology. Each one has some great webinars already scheduled for it. Also this year, we will be having a QSO party. It will be our first also for Hamcation. More details will be coming within the next week or so on our website for that one. Then one thing we are going to do that we will be having live prize drawings during the webinars. So every hour we will actually have our prize barrel set up actually at the fairgrounds in one of the halls there and actually doing live prize drawings as just like you would be at Hamcation. To get entered into the prize drawing, there's 2 ways you can do it. One, if you register and attend any webinar, you will get 1 entry into the prize drawing. Or 2, for a $5 donation, you can purchase prize tickets, which will also get you into the drawing. And the donations go to Orlando Amateur Radio Club to help fund the donations and those stuff that we do each year to other clubs locally.
But that sounds great, Michael. It certainly, it appears to me, and looking at your website, you guys have done a lot of work to make this transition to the virtual world. And so I think that that Hamcation is actually going to have a broader appeal. There's people that will attend the virtual event that could never dream to attend Hamcation in Orlando in person. So this is a great opportunity for you. We do have a question. Jill says, what is Hamcation to do with nominations for Teacher of the Year?
We're actually still having that. Our committee just wrapped up everybody that actually got nominated. So I know they're in the process of selecting a winner now. And it should be out hopefully right after the first of the year. We'll actually announce the winner for this year.
Great. No, that is a super deal. I remember Carol Perry getting the first one, and of course it's a named award for Carol, and so I know she may be watching today. So this is really good, and the ARRL has posted here and says these conventions and their hardworking volunteers give 110% to our greater amateur radio community. Thank you, Michael, John, Mark, Michael, and Rick, and 73 from the ARRL. And I'll bet that might be Bob Ingebrigtsen up at headquarters. I could be wrong. There's a lot of employees up there, and they're all fans of these events. So, Michael, tell us some more about what's going to happen at the virtual event this year.
Couple other things. One, we have a great list of prizes. Vendors are still donating, so we're still putting them up on the website. One thing for us this year, we actually reached out to our vendors for sponsorships, which is a first for Hamcation. And as of right now, we do have ICOM America as a platinum sponsor for Hamcation Special Edition this year. The other thing we are doing, it's more for a local thing, but we are going to hold live testing on site at Hamcation on Sunday, February 14th. Here locally, there've been very little testing done since all this has happened, COVID. So there's currently only one club locally doing testing, but they can only do about 5 at a time. With this, we're actually be in the North Hall, and we should be able to host probably around 40 to 50 people at one time with social distancing and everything that we need to do, and be able to test a lot of people that day.
Well, that is tremendous, Michael. And I know the logistics to do that are, you have to be really careful. And I really applaud you for thinking outside of the box and coming up with that. So let's talk more about some of the content that you have. John, tell us about some of the vendors that are attending virtually and some of the content for the talks.
I know we have ICOM America, Yaesu USA. We also have Elecraft. We have, actually, we're pulling it up so I can make sure I list them correctly. We also have, as far as vendors go, we have Flex Radio is also going to do a webinar. And then we also have a lot of good youth for our webinars that are going to be happening. Carol Perry is going to be doing a webinar also. Joda, also the Yoda for 2021 is going to be doing a webinar. There's going to be a lot of contesting. We're still working on some of those contesting ones. They'll be updated here shortly once everything gets confirmed. So just keep watching the website. Everything that's up there now you could register for. Just click on the info button, and then there's a register button after that one. Joe Eisenberg is going to be doing his kit building techniques for success, and probably has some revisions in that one also. And then also he's also going to be doing a printing, 3D printing for amateur radio. Joe has gotten into doing 3D printing, and he's done some things for amateur radio. So that's going to be a really good, interesting one. AMSAT's doing 3 different webinars over the weekend. Yaesu is actually doing a technology one on Fusion. So it's going to be a really good event.
Yeah. So let's remind our participants here today the dates and the times and where they can go on the web to find out more information, John.
It's going to be February 13th and 14th, and from 10 a.m. to around 4 p.m. I think is the last webinar that happens. And just go to www.hamcation.com, and all the information is there. And as more things get finalized, they will be updated to the website.
So we want to say hello to our friend Safe from Qatar. Alpha 71 Alpha Mike is on with us today, and Safe attends the events over here, and a good friend of Michael, W8CI as well. And Travis, W3TMB says, will the seminars, will they be available for playback? Are you going to record them, John?
We're actually going to be streaming them over to YouTube. So we'll have 4 different YouTube channels up, and they'll be able to be viewed there afterwards also.
Great. So even if you can't make it, or if you've got stuff that overlaps, you don't have to worry. You'll be able to get there. And of course, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say that even after Hamcation is done, that if somebody has a question for one of your presenters, they can always email them and get their question answered.
Absolutely. We'll have information on that also. There will be an email that goes out to all the attendees who might have a question afterwards, of how they could ask those questions to the panelists. Okay,
great. And I imagine you guys are already planning for 2022, and hopefully the world is back to normal at that time. What are your thoughts on that, Michael?
Yeah, we are planning already. The ARL, like we said, we actually postponed the national convention. They already approved the national convention for 2022. So that will be happening. It will also be, since we didn't have an in-person one this year, it will be our 75th anniversary of Hamcation for 2022. Right now, we're just full steam, actually already planning it. We already locked in the fairgrounds again for 2022. Everything's looking good. We've actually have participants or already asking to buy tickets for 2022, which is a good sign.
That's a great sign, and certainly everybody will really be happy, I think, once again. But I've got to congratulate you guys on a fine job transitioning to virtual this year and making this all happen. And I'm excited about 2022 Hamcation, because for the first time we're going to bring Contest University to Hamcation as part of the national convention with the ARRL. So lots of good things to look forward to. But in the meantime, February 13th and 14th, what better way to spend Valentine's weekend than with the sweetheart Hamcation? I just think that's tremendous. And if you have to go out for dinner or lunch, you can always play it later on YouTube. Let's get down to Mark, N4BCD, and let's learn more about what's going on in Huntsville for 2021.
Well, thanks, Michael. I'm sorry, Tim. We are planning full speed ahead to have a real Hamvention, HamFest 2021 in August of this year. Just like Dayton had to do last year, they made the difficult decision a few months ahead of Dayton Hamvention 2020. We had to take the same painful decision back in June to give our vendors and volunteers time to make alternate arrangements. But it was a gut-wrenching decision, but it was in hindsight the correct decision. Normally we take a few weeks or a couple of short months off, and we would be in that mode now. But right after the new year, we are going to be full steam ahead planning for the 2021 HamFest, Huntsville HamFest in Alabama. The dates are August 21 and 22. And we're looking forward to making it a safe and productive real-life visit for the visitors, the vendors, the volunteers. Hopefully this COVID stuff will be out of the way. I'm looking forward to hearing what Rick has to say later in this podcast. But this past year, without Dayton and without Huntsville, without these live events where we had in-person meetings, we had a lot of other stuff that went on virtually. Tim, the Contest University that you held the weekend of Dayton Hamvention was just absolutely first rate. And throwing that out, it was my first chance to participate in that event all day. It was wonderful. The same thing, you're planning the Propagation Summit later in January. That I'm looking forward to that. The Radio Club of America hosted a weekend of just incredible high-end technical forums. So there has been a lot of stuff online and virtual, but it doesn't quite fill the need for us to get out there and see each other face to face. But I'm looking forward to Orlando's special edition in 2021, where we can get together with the CUSO party and see these new forums that they're going to have. we're excited for 2021. We got to be. It's got to be better than 2020. Back to you, Tim.
Yes, I completely agree. Mark, let's tell our listeners about the website for the Huntsville HamFest.
Oh, it's very easy, and I don't know how we ended up with this, but it's hamfest.org. It's simply that. Yep.
It doesn't get any better. It's like getting Kleenex.org.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great. Now, and I want to thank Bob NQ1R up at headquarters. He's posted a couple of links in the chat room for Hamfests and conventions. The ARL really keeps track of what's going on. And then they also have one for online Hamfests and conventions, and that's tinyurl.com/online-hamfest. So great places to find information about what's going on, both in person as we transition back to that later on in 2021. And certainly, Mark, you run a first-class event. I can remember watching vendors come in to the Huntsville HamFest, and your volunteers would come up to them and say, "What would you like for lunch?" And then they would help them unload and bring them lunch. And I was taken aback at the customer service that you and your team, and what a great bunch of volunteers that you have, Mark.
Thanks, Tim. We don't have as many volunteers. It takes about 120 to 130 volunteers to pull off Huntsville HamFest. But we put Southern hospitality into practice. It's not manufactured; it's genuine, and we want to make it's good. We got to make it good for the vendors, the volunteers, the visitors, the flea market folks, and it's clear in the comments we hear year after year they want to come back, and there's no higher praise than that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, all of these events that we go to are really done well, and everybody gives so much time and effort. And I can't imagine, it's just like a full-time job to run Hamcation. I mean, it is. It takes a lot of time and effort, and it takes a lot of volunteers and people that are not getting paid to do this. It's just it's part of the give back to the hobby, and being faces.
It's absolutely a labor of love. We do it because we like it. And, I have a regular job. I'm not retired like many folks yet. So I have a full-time job, but and I'm doing that on the right beside the shack here. I can work DX and I can do my job almost at the same time.
There you go.
It is a full-time job, and it's a full-time part-time job.
So let's bring on Rick W8CI, who is the general chairman of Hamvention 2021, and Michael Kalter, W8CI. Michael is the official spokesperson for Hamvention. And Rick and Michael, how are things going for 2021 Hamvention?
Go ahead, Rick.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Michael.
I think all of us are working very diligently together, and we are going full steam ahead for Hamvention 2021, as you probably all know. We got a lot of great things planned for coming up, and we are selling tickets, booth space, and the team's pulled together. We've already had several Hamvention meetings. We continue to have meetings almost every day. At least I know our leadership committee does. Rick, why don't you add a few things?
Sure. Wanted to answer a few things that had come up after the interview that Michael and I did about a month or so ago, and also to talk about COVID. Let's take care of COVID first. I have great hope. I really do. I have great optimism that with the rollout of the vaccines that we're seeing last week and this week, that within just a few weeks, we're going to begin to see the oldsters in our community, those that are in nursing homes, those that in general are much more likely to get sick, to be able to get them vaccines. And even though not everybody's going to end up with a vaccine real fast, those people that can get very sick from this COVID are going to get a vaccine, and we will see a dramatic and amazing decrease in the number of hospitalizations and the number of deaths. That will allow our government leaders and us as normal citizens to be able to start to feel much better about opening the economy, and especially about opening big events like these Hamfests that we're talking about, and specifically about Hamvention. In the state of Ohio, we're already seeing politicians dealing with the idea of opening up state fairs, and the Ohio State Fair and also the county state fairs, all large groups that get together in an outdoor sort of environment with some get-togethers inside as well. And I think that that's going to lead to a very early approval for getting a convention as large as Hamvention going. And I just think that that is a wonderful thing, and we're just going to feel so great about getting together and being able to see each other, and to be able to travel to be able to see each other. We may still be wearing masks to be able to keep those that haven't had a vaccination yet safe, but those of us that are much more likely to get sick will have already had our vaccines by then. I did want to say just a couple little things about some questions that came up after our last conversation. There was a big, long conversation about people saying, well, are you all going to be checking vaccination status? No, that's not a piece of what we can do or anybody else can do at any other large gathering. What we're going to be doing is giving people a space that they can be safe and hopefully be able to see each other and enjoy each other. Some other comments came up about the only reason that you want to do this is because of making money. And for all three of these Hamfests, let me be real clear to people that are listening. This is, like Mark just said, a labor of love. It is a way to be able to give back to the hobby. The money that comes in from tickets and booth sales for Hamvention is largely given away to other organizations as donations in order to be able to support the hobby. None of us that work for Hamvention, not a single one of us, makes any money at all from being in the positions that we're in. And I just wanted people to know that the reason we're doing this is for the love of amateur radio and because we want to be able to see our friends get back together. Michael, go ahead.
Okay, I also want to mention that Rick is a medical doctor, and he also has a master's degree in public health and a master's degree in electrical engineering. Very accomplished individual. And when he talks about the COVID, and he does his research, and it isn't gut feelings as much as it is real research. I also wanted to just mention a minute, why are the three organizations here together, the Hamcation, Huntsville, and Hamvention? Well, I wanted to make it clear that for years we have all worked together. I know I worked with Charlie from Huntsville and with Peter and Liddy down at Hamcation, and we have so much in common. And we really try to help each other. It's not a matter of collusion. It's not a matter of who is the best, who's the biggest. Every one of these Hamfests have, a very positive outcome and are the right event for lots of different reasons for different people. And so we want to support each other. And if we don't support each other as amateur radio operators, there's so few of us in number really, then how bad is that going to look? That's why we're doing this. We wanted to get together before the holidays and wish everybody good holidays, but we also wanted to let you know that we work together as a team and that our goals are all exactly the same, to support amateur radio, much like the ARL does, the FCC, and so many of the Hamfests out there. And people internationally, my friend Saif, from Qatar, he's the guy that's on there all the time, really supporting amateur radio as well in his part of the world. We can all do our part. And so it's much more strength if we work together than if we worked against each other. So stay tuned for more things about Hamvention, Hamcation, Huntsville. And we, one other thing about Hamvention, we are still accepting nominations for Amateur of the Year, Technical Achievement, Special Achievement, and Club of the Year. So I want to appreciate, I just want to tell my comrades there that I very much appreciate them being on the program and supporting amateur radio. So with that, back to you, Tim. And Tim, thanks so much for having us.
Well, it's great to have all of you on. It's a rare thing that we can get together like this, and doing it virtually makes it really, really nice. And you know, each one of these three events has something that is so special. And if you haven't attended these events in the past, when the in-person gets going again for Hamcation, and you know, try to find a way to get there, because the hospitality that Michael and John and the rest of the volunteers down there is really good, and the venue is outstanding. Just really an outstanding place. And of course, Mark's venue doesn't look anything, the Huntsville venue doesn't look anything like the other two. So it's nice to check that out. And of course, in Xenia, Hamvention has found a home. And I think I speak for a lot of others. We hope that is the home for Hamvention for many years to come. And our friend David Smith, ND4Y, says he already has his room reservations for Dayton. Thanks for all the hard work you guys put in. And so David is a longtime friend, so very nice to have you along, David. And you know, we've got Jerry Haslip, K1SO. He says, all ready for all three. Thanks to all, and to DX Engineering for what they do for all of us. And thank you, Jerry. Jerry is one of the unsung heroes of Contest University. Jerry showed up one year and he says, how can I help? And he's never stopped helping. He keeps coming back. And I really can't thank Jerry enough for everything he's done. And Tim, November Lima 7 Delta, says he got an email that a mug should be here shortly. So he got one of the ICOM America mugs. We gave away 50 mugs last Thursday, and Terry sent them out, KMNJ. So another, you know, big hero in what I do and what Contest University and DX Engineering does is Terry, KMNJ. And thanks so much to Bob, NQ1R up at ARL headquarters for posting. Our good friend Angel, WP3R, is on with us. And of course, we had Angel on telling the Arecibo story a few weeks ago. And Angel is, he's got a team from that cleaned up 9/11. That's the same company that's down there working at Arecibo right now. So, you know, they don't mess around. Absolutely don't mess around. This is a last chance for any questions that you have for Michael and John down at Orlando, or Michael and Rick at Hamvention, and of course Mark down at Huntsville. If you have any questions, we certainly put them in the chat room while we've got these guys all together here just before the Christmas holiday. Very, very special day before Christmas, and it's the final Tuesdays with Tim and Jeff for the year. We'll be on vacation next Tuesday. And let's see, Henrik says, never went to any conventions in the U.S., only to Friedrichshafen, but would love to go post COVID-19. So it's a great trip. And of course, Dino, KL0S, and his wife Toby, KL0SS, hoping we can make all the shows. Dino has become a member of our blog team. And if you haven't viewed our blog, it's on allbands.com. Updated just about every day with great information, great blogs, videos, all things on all bands. And let's see, Bill Henderson says, if Hamvention would be canceled, when would the announcement be made? In March? I'll leave that to you, Rick or Michael.
Yes, the plan would be to make a decision by March.
Okay, thank you, Rick. And Joe, in case
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Rick. It wouldn't be by March. It'd be toward the end of March.
I'm sorry.
Not
that's
by
true.
March.
In March, not before March, to be clear.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. Joe Kaiser on EB says, ask Mike if there's a good place to plug my car into 120 volts at Hamvention. That's some logistics. I'm sure, Joe, that can be worked out. So we'll ask you to communicate directly with the Hamvention team on that. And Reinhard says he'll be on for 2021. And of course, Reinhard is the owner of RF Kit, and we are starting to ship RF kits again. So that's a good thing, and going to make some amplifier people very happy. And Bill Henderson says, thank you, praying it will go on and looking forward to attending in 2021. And I think that's where we all are. And I just want to say it's an incredible thing that we have a medical doctor with also 2 other master's degrees who's is the general chairman. What a year to have someone, how lucky we are as an amateur radio community, Rick, to have you at the helm. So really looking forward to that. Alpha 92 Alpha Alpha, looking forward to being Hamvention in the future. So that will be great. And so all things good. I know I speak for everybody that's watching or that will watch the playbacks. We wish all of you a Merry Christmas, both to our speakers today and also the attendees, and to everybody that is a friend of DX Engineering. And Jeff DeSalvo, that's the Steelman, N3JD, says thanks for all your hard work and effort. And Gert, Pop Alpha 2 Lima Oscar, says the Dutch guys will be there in 2021 when possible. And for now, thanks for the update and Merry Christmas. So a lot of fans for all of your events from all over the world. And we're all pulling for these events. And DX Engineering will attend Hamcation virtually, and K3LR will be there virtually. And we're going to make sure that we help you guys deliver the best show possible. So any of you guys have any last comments before we close this down?
Merry Christmas.
Only to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Let's make 2021 a great year.
Absolutely. Let's see a great gathering.
Definitely. And I want to thank Michael Kalter for setting us up and Tim allowing us to be on the show. I think this is the first time in a long time all of us have been on a show together. So hopefully we'll do it more often in 2021.
And Michael and John, we're going to want to have you guys on after your virtual event to kind of walk through it. And because it's all going to be recorded, that'll be a great chance to tell everybody just an update on how things went, and then talk about the recordings and encourage them to go take a look at the YouTube streams.
Sounds good. Definitely.
Sounds good.
All right. Great. And I see we're getting Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays from ARRL headquarters. And boy, that's a warm part of my heart that W1AW and all the great folks that work for headquarters and their new leader, David Minster, NA2AA, who we had on last Friday. This is a very exciting time in the best hobby in the world. And we're so thankful to have the best friends in the world because of this hobby. The radio has been a vehicle for friendships. And so we have a lot to be thankful for. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us and from DX Engineering 73.